Hello. Hey guys, how you doing? What's up, Wing Chun? Hey, happy Lunar New Year's. Yay. Happy Year of the Cat. All right? If you're Vietnamese. For everyone else that celebrates, it's a Year of the Rabbit. But you know what? Aren't cats more cute? What's cuter, guys? Cats or rabbits? What's up, man? Monkey man? Hey, Losh, how's it going? Hey, Christina, glad you could join. What's up, Katie? Glad you're here. What's up, Hope? Hey, Dan, how's it going? Kaibio, Hime, Happy New Year. Hey, Peepzilla. Cabbits? Cabbits are cuter? Or rats? Hey, Greek yogurt. What's up, Amy? Hey, Michael, Happy New Year. Yay. Cats are cuter? There you go. Everyone agrees. Cats are cuter. Yeah. Do any one of you guys celebrate? What do you guys do? What do you guys do for Lunar New Year's? So for me, every year I celebrate it with my family. So this year I went to my parents for lunch, and we had like a meal, and then we went for dinner with my extended family for a bigger dinner, bigger meals, a lot of food. There's a lot of food every year, guys. You know what my favorite food is? We always have this. It's crispy pork belly. You guys know that? You guys know what that is? It's so good. And so, like, most of the time we buy that. We go to an Asian market and buy it. But in the past couple of years, my parents figured out how to make it at home. And they make it like almost perfectly now. It's so good. Hold on, let me check. do, 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 do. It's this crispy pork belly. Oh, like the skin is so crunchy. So you eat it, and then it just has this nice, scrumptious crunch. Right, and the meat is good too. So that's the one that we eat every year. It's so good. Yeah, my parents learned how to make it. At first, they weren't that good at it, and like, it's really hard to get it just right. So the skin, like sometimes the skin is too tough. Yeah, it's not crispy enough. But yeah, but if you make it just right, it's so good. Hey, Losh, oh, you gave me a red envelope. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if you guys don't know the tradition, kids get red envelopes, or parents give the kids red envelopes full of money for New Year's. So yeah, that was my New Year's. During the past couple of years, we've had a lot of firecrackers every New Year's, but not this year. It wasn't that much. But usually there's like a lot. So when midnight comes, the firecrackers just go off all over the neighborhood. I live in an Asian neighborhood, so there's a lot of people lighting firecrackers, but not this year, I think. You're broke now? Too many kids? I'm sorry. So, okay. What are we doing? Okay. One sec. We're doing US capitals, right? 1 sec. Okay. What did we get last time? I think the first time I tried it was 52%. Oh, terrible. Then I tried it again. It was like 80 something? 80 something? 82 maybe? Alright. I think we're going to shoot for... I don't think we're going to get 100%. We're going to shoot for 95 maybe. Yo, Christine! Thank you so much. Another red envelope. I really appreciate it. Alright, Providence is Rhode Island. I know that. Santa Fe is New Mexico. Richmond, Virginia? That sounds right. Richmond, Virginia? Yeah. Columbia should be South Carolina. Atlanta, Georgia. Annapolis is Maryland. Augusta is Maine. I think we missed that last time. Okay. Richmond, Washington, Nashville, Tennessee. Frankfurt. Where is that? Kentucky? Frankfurt, Kentucky? Does that sound right? West Virginia. It's not West Virginia. West Virginia is like Charleston? Okay, that's good. Phoenix is Arizona. Pierre, I think we learned that last time, is South Carolina. Baton Rouge, Lincoln, Nebraska. Salem was Oregon. Hartford is Connecticut. I think we missed that last time too. Albany, New York. Tallahassee, Florida. Harrisburg is Pennsylvania. It's not Philadelphia for some reason. Boise. Oh, no, I knew it. Boise's Idaho. Wait, that was a misclick. I knew it was Boise. Idaho. Des Moines is Iowa. Dover is Delaware. Where's Delaware? Down here. Honolulu. Jackson, Mississippi. Boston, Massachusetts. Bismarck. Oh, that's north. Topeka, Kansas. Indianapolis, Indiana. Charleston, West Virginia? Charleston? Okay. Montgomery, Alabama. Springfield, Illinois. Cheyenne, West Virginia. Trenton. Ooh. New Jersey? That sounds right. Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton, New Jersey. Okay, good. Salt Lake City, Utah. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Montpelier is... I think it's one of these. I think it's Vermont. Okay. Carson City, Nevada. Austin, Texas. Juneau is this. Sacramento. Lansing is Michigan. Madison, Wisconsin. Jefferson City. Oof. Oh no, we were on a roll. Jefferson City. Missouri? Arkansas? No, that's Little Rock. Jefferson City, Missouri. Jefferson City, Missouri. Okay. St. Paul, Minnesota. Concord, New Hampshire. Helena, Montana. Columbus, Ohio. Denver, Colorado. Olympia is Washington. Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh my God. Raleigh, North Carolina. Oklahoma. Huh? Guys, oh my God. Hey, this doesn't count. Oh no. I swear to God. I swear to God, this was a misclick. I knew Boise, Idaho. You guys. It's not 98, it's 100. Oh, Peepzilla. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Redo? No, no. I swear to God, I knew Boise, Idaho. I knew it. God damn it. That doesn't count? You're gonna allow it? Okay, this was a better showing than last week. Okay, we'll get 100 next week. Hey, what else is there? Oh, just try one more, okay? We'll try major cities. How about that? I think I should know these, right? Everyone should know these. All right, not that many. Damn, California has 4 of them. Okay. Washington, D.C. San Diego is here. Denver is Colorado. New Orleans. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Mississippi? No, wait, that's Jackson, Mississippi. Jacksonville, Florida? Okay, okay. Kansas City, it's gotta be in Kansas. Seattle is Washington. Phoenix, Arizona. New York is in New York. San Jose, right here. You know that San Jose is bigger than San Francisco? It's huge. Baltimore, Maryland, San Francisco, San Antonio. Oof. Okay, this is kind of hard. I think this is Houston, right? I think this is Houston. Then what is this? Dallas? Or is this Houston? I think this is Dallas. This must be San Antonio. Okay, okay. Are we gonna get 100%? Detroit is Michigan. Philadelphia is Pennsylvania. Really, it should be the capital of Pennsylvania. Los Angeles is here. Chicago. Ah, oh God. This is Houston, right? This must be Dallas. This must be Dallas. Ah! Oh no. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is Houston. Damn it. Okay. 95%. We'll stick with that. Miami is here. Atlanta, Georgia. Houston. Boston. Indianapolis. Oh! 96. 96. Damn it. Houston is on the coast. Dallas is in the middle. Oh. Hey, 96. That's an A, right? That's an A. Or an F in the Asian scale. Worse than last time. Hey, this is a different test, okay? Yo. This is major cities. This is not capitals. Okay. Anyways. All right, before we get started, I have this for a snack. Ooh. You can't really see what it is. It's dorayaki. Yay. Or as this thing calls it, pancake with red bean paste. Oh, Wing Chun. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Hold on. Very hard to open. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, it smells good. Yeah. Smells good. Hmm. Hmm. Not bad. I can taste the red bean. Hmm. It's like green tea flavored. See it? Hmm. And it's not too sweet too. Pretty good. I don't like it when it's too sweet. Dorayaki is Doraemon's favorite snack. Um, yeah, this is I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10. It's not my favorite snack, so 7.5. It's pretty good. Oh, wait, you guys know Doraemon, right? I don't know how to pronounce it. It was this guy. I used to hella read this when I was a kid. It was so good. Yeah, if you get a chance. So it's his favorite snack. Yeah. He has a pouch that's like a magical pouch or a technologically advanced pouch that you can pull anything out of. So he pulls like a bunch of like futuristic devices and stuff. Yeah, so he goes back to the past. So he can pull out like a bunch of futuristic devices from his future to help his grandfather when he was young. Or wait, to help his owner's grandfather? Yeah. Does he keep snacks in his pouch? Well, he must, right? But he really loves dorayaki. I am not Doraemon, no. Not my favorite snack, but it's pretty good. All right. So, what happened last time in our story? So last time, at a where were we? We were at a restaurant, right? And Ding Chunqiu, the master of poisons, he catches Shuju and Azu. And Ding Chunqiu demands that Azu returns his divine wooden king tripod. Because remember, she stole it and ran away. And just then, Mu Rongfu enters the restaurant. And this guy, Mu Rongfu, suggests that he let Azu go. And in response, Ding Chunqiu attacks him. And they get into this big fight. And then this is where we learn that the Murong family, right? They're a very famous martial arts family. And they're famous for using the opponent's techniques against him, right? So they kill the opponent with their own techniques. So we learned that the Murong family's secret move is this move called the star shifting movement, and it redirects any force back to the opponent. So that's how they can kill their opponents with their own moves. So Mu Rongfu, he doesn't actually know all the special attacks of everyone in the martial arts world, right? That's kind of an impossible thing to do. So What he does, he just redirects opponents' the attacks back to his enemies, so the enemies kill themselves with their own attacks. Anyway, so Mu Rongfu he fights with Ding Chunqiu, and then he is caught by Ding Chunqiu's energy dissipating attack, and he can't escape. Right, but then he uses his redirect technique to grab Ding Chunqiu's followers and then dissipate his followers' energies one by one. Right. So they're in a fight, and during the fight, Azi tries to praise Ding Chunqiu, her master, but then he thinks, while he's fighting, he thinks that she's mocking him, so he throws 2 chopsticks at her eyes, and he blinds her. Now, Yo Tanger is, remember the guy with the iron head? He's in love with her, so he rescues her, and then he runs away. Now, she's blind now, so she doesn't know who he is, right? But he promises to stay with her forever because he's like head over heels in love. So he's traveling with her. They run into a beggars clan group led by Cheng Guanqing, who was one of the guys who orchestrated that coup of Xiaofeng from the beggars clan. He sees that Yo Tanger loves Azi, but is afraid that she would figure out his identity. And he sees that he can use Yo Tanger. So he befriends him, and he says that he can help Yo Tanger take the iron mask off. So I think he says he knows a guy who is a good blacksmith, I guess, and can take off the iron mask. And that's it. How's that? Ironhead is the ultimate sub. Truth. All right. Give me a sec. You can't wait to hear these 2 unlikable characters do the dumbest stuff. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what happens to them. Okay, so here Cheng Guanqing, the guy from the Beggars Clan. He says they will travel to a small town ahead and rent a carriage so that they can sit. He and Azi can sit in the carriage together, and no one can see him with his iron head. All right, Chapter 33, Part 2. Cheng Guanqing said, "After that, we will think of an idea to remove this iron mask from Brother Zhuang." So Yo Tanger gave his name as Zhuang. Okay. "I assure you the lady will never know about this awkward matter. What do you think?" There is a pooh sound. Yo Tanger knelt down and kowtowed to Cheng Guanqing. His iron head knocked on the floor and made a dong, dong sound. Cheng Guanqing also knelt down and returned the courtesy. He said, Brother Zhuang, you pay such respect to me. How can I accept it? If Brother Zhuang don't mind, why don't the both of us become sworn brothers?" Yo Tanger said happily, Wonderful, wonderful. I don't understand anything. If I have such a resourceful elder brother like you to guide me, then it couldn't be much better." Cheng Guanqing burst into loud laughter and said, "Elder brother is older than you by a few years. I will be blunt and address you as younger brother from now on." During the earth-shattering battle between Ding Chunqiu and Xu Xinghe, Duan Yu's gaze never left Wang Yuyan's body at all. Oh, now we're back to Duan Yu. As for Wang Yuyan, she was always gazing tenderly at her cousin, Mu Rongfu. Both their gazes never meet each other. After Ding Chunqiu suffered a defeat and escaped, Shuju and the rest of the carefree sect members had their own private meeting. Mu Rongfu and the rest left by themselves. Thus, Duan Yu involuntarily followed behind Wang Yuyan. As they traveled down the mountain, Mu Rongfu cupped his hands towards Duan Yu and said, "Brother Duan, it is unfortunate that we get to meet today. We will part now. Hope to see you again." Duan Yu said, Yes, it's really a fortunate meeting today. We will part now. Hope to see you again." But he still kept on staring at Wang Yuyan. Mu Rongfu felt disgruntled. He snorted, turned around, and walked away. So he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll see you." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'll see you later." And then he's looking at his love interest all the while doing that. Which would kind of piss you off if you were Mu Rongfu. Mu Rongfu felt disgruntled. He snorted, turned around, and walked away. Duan Yu was reluctant to part and also followed them. Ba Butong raised his hands and blocked in front of Duan Yu. He said, "Gentleman Duan, today you saved my young master. Many thanks." Duan Yu said, "No need to be so formal." Ba Butong said, "We already offered our thanks. There is no more gratitude or debt. You keep staring at our Miss Wang. It's really rude. Now, you still want to follow us? It's extremely rude. You are an educated person. You should understand. Do not look at something contrary to courtesy. Do not do something contrary to courtesy. You understand the meaning? I don't have any muscular strength on me now, but I still have strength to curse people." Duan Yu gave a sigh. He shook his head and said, "Since this is the case, then it's best that Brother Bao does not say something contrary to courtesy. I will not look at something contrary to courtesy." Bao Butong burst into loud laughter and said, "Now you are correct." He turned around and followed Mu Rongfu. Wang Yuyan was engrossed in chatting with Mu Rongfu. She completely ignored Duan Yu. Duan Yu kept staring at Wang Yuyan until her shadow disappeared from the forest. He was still entranced. Zhu Danchen said, "Young master, let us go." Duan Yu said, "Yes, it's time to leave." But he still did not move. Zhu Danchen had to urge him 3 more times before he finally mounted the horse brought by Gu Ducheng. Duan Yu was riding on the horse, but his eyes were still looking at the path taken by Wang Yuyan. After handing over the letter to Chang Guanqing, Duan Yu hurried back to report to Duan Zhengchun, his father. As the chess meet was nearing, Duan Yu had permission from his father, and Zhu Danchen and the rest of the guards accompanied him to the chess meet. Sure enough, he finally got to meet his sweetheart at the chess meet, but now he was distressed and anxious. He really didn't know whether meeting her was good or bad. The group traveled for 20 li. On the main road, a dust cloud was gathering as 10 riders galloped over. They were the 3 ministers of Dali, Hua Hegen, Fan Hua, and Ba Tianxi, as well as Cui Baichuan, Guo Yanzhi, and the rest. The party galloped near them, and they dismounted and saluted Duan Yu. It seemed the martial nephew of Cui Baichuan had obtained some insider information at Funniu Mountain. They know that Prince Zhinan is in Henan province and was nursing his injuries nearby at Funniu Mountain. Oh god, so many names. Thus they immediately came to visit. It so happened that Hua Hegen and the rest received orders from Duan Zhengchun to protect Duan Yu, as he was afraid that Duan Yu might meet some danger at the chess meet. Thus everyone met up and followed along. The group heard that Duan Yanqing also attended the chess meet. But luckily he did not harm Duan Yu, and everyone was relieved. Zhu Danchen secretly reported to Fan Hua. Zhu Danshan secretly reported to Fan Hua and the other two ministers on how Duan Yu met the pretty lady from Gusu Murong family, how he kept staring at her, how he seemed to have lost his soul and tried to follow them. Luckily, the other party rejected Duan Yu. Fan Hua and the rest looked at each other and smiled. They pondered, the young prince inherited from his family and is also philandering by nature. If he can forget about his passion towards his own sister, Miss Mu, then it would be a good thing. At nightfall, the party had their dinner at an inn. Fan Hua narrated their journey in Jiangnan. He said, Young master, the Murong family is very secretive. In the future, if you meet them, you have to be very careful. Duan Yu said, Why? Fan Hua said, The three of us received orders from the prince. We went to Shuzhou's Basin of Swallows and investigated the house of the Murong family. We were looking for hints or clues as to whether the Shaolin master Xuanbei was killed by the Murong family. Cui Baichan and Guo Yanzhi were deeply concerned. They asked in unison, Did the three of you find anything? Fan Hua said, The three of us did not openly seek an audience. We investigated secretly. There is no male or female owner at Murong House, only a few servants and maids. There were quite a few large manors there, but there is only one young lady called Abi tending to the housework. Duan Yu nodded his head and said, This Miss Abi is a very good person. You didn't harm her, right? Fan Hua smiled and said, We didn't. We investigated for a few nights. We searched every single corner of the Murong family's manor. We didn't find anything unusual. Brother Ba suddenly thought of something. That foreign monk, Jui Mozi, kidnapped young master from Dali to Jiangnan. He said he wanted to offer sacrifice at Mr. Murong's grave. Cui Baichan interrupted and said, Yeah, that little servant girl at the manor. She refused to lead the foreign monk to the grave. Luckily, she acted that way, and young master managed to escape from the evil hands of the monk. Duan Yu nodded his head and said, Aju and Abi, the two of them are really good people. I wonder what happened to them. Is Abi still healthy and well? Ba Tianchi smiled and said, For 3 nights we hung around outside the window and saw Miss Abi sewing a man's robe. Young master, she is sewing it for you, correct? Duan Yu quickly said, No, most probably it's for her young master Murong. Yeah, I noticed that little servant girl was infatuated and head over heels in love, always thinking about her young master Murong. The 3 of us entered the house and she didn't notice it at all. She kept mumbling to herself, it's useless. He won't care about me the least bit. What's the point in thinking about him? Bai Tianxi's speech was directed at Duan Yu, reminding him not to follow in his father's footsteps, spreading his love everywhere. Bai Tianxi emphasized Abi's concerns towards her young master Murong. Thus, Duan Yu should not think too much about Abi. In reality, although Duan Yu had good impression of Abi, but it was not passion. Duan Yu sighed. Correct. Abi is correct. It's useless. She won't care about me the least bit. What's the point in thinking about her? Abi longed for her young master Murong, but Duan Yu misunderstood and thought Abi was advising him not to think about Wang Yuyan. Duan Yu said, Gentleman Murong's elegance is without equal, no wonder. Moreover, they are cousins. They are childhood sweethearts who grew up together. Fan Hua, Ba Tianxi, and the rest looked at each other in dismay. They pondered. It's possible for the little servant girl and her young master to be childhood sweethearts, but how come they are cousins? They did not expect Duan Yu to mix Wang Yuyan into the issue. Cui Baichan asked, Minister Fan and Minister Ba mentioned that the foreign monk wanted to visit Mr. Murong's grave. What is the reasoning behind it? How is it related to the death of my martial brother? Fan Hua said, I mentioned this matter so that everyone can analyze it together. When elder brother Hua heard the word grave, his hands immediately became itchy and said, Maybe there is something strange in that old man's grave. Let us go dig it and check it out. Brother Ba and I did not support this idea. Gusu Murong family was world famous. Our Duan family is digging their grave. Our Duan family digging their grave. It's really a bit too much. But elder brother Hua said, we will secretly go in by digging an underground tunnel. Who will know about it? Both of us couldn't dissuade him, and thus we just followed his idea. The grave was located at the rear of the manor. It was very well hidden and secluded. It was really not easy to find. The three of us dug our way into the grave and we opened the coffin. Brother Cui, guess what we saw? Cui Baichan and Guo Yanzi stood up at the same time and asked, what was inside? Fan Hua said, the coffin was empty. There was no corpse. Oh, so the patriarch of the Murong family. He had a grave, but he wasn't there. No corpse. Cui Baichan and Guo Yanzi opened their mouth widely. They were speechless for quite some time. After a long time, Cui Baichan smacked his thigh and said, Murong Bo did not die. He asked his son to appear in public at the Central Plains. He is several thousand li away and committing murder. He deliberately complicated the matter. My martial brother must have been killed by that evil Murong Bo. Fan Hua shook his head and said, Brother Cui, you once told me that Murong Bo's martial art was unmeasurably deep and profound. If he really wanted to kill someone, he could use other methods. Why must he purposefully use returning you with your own move and let other people suspect he was from the Murong family? If he really wanted the martial arts fraternity to know his power, why the need to feign death? If not for elder brother Hua, who else could uncover this secret? Cui Baichan sat down. He was disappointed. He thought he knew the truth, but the matter was still a complete mystery. Duan Yu said, there are thousands and tens of thousands of techniques from the various sects and schools to master and understand the essence of every single skill. It's really the same as flying to heaven, but he somehow had enough intelligence and wisdom. He understood all the martial arts thoroughly. Cui Baichan said, yeah, my martial brother's move, splitting heaven's soul into thousand. It's a secret move of my Fu Nuyu sect, not passed on to outsiders. How did he know it? How did he use this move to kill my martial brother? Duan Yu shook his head and said, naturally she knows it, but she does not even have the strength to kill a chicken. Even though she knows the martial arts of various sects and schools, but she cannot use them. She is kind and virtuous. She would never kill people. Everyone looked at each other in dismay. After a while, they slowly shook their heads at the same time. When Azu was blinded by Ding Chunchu, now we're back to her, Yo Tanzhi bravely dashed in without concern for his own safety and escaped with her. Ding Chunchu was slightly distracted. The strength in his finger slackened a little. Murong Fu made use of the opportunity and immediately executed his star-shifting movement. Ding Chunchu's 5 fingers gripped his own disciple. Murong Fu's fist was released. He quickly leapt out and laughed heartily and shouted, ha ha ha, I cannot accompany you anymore. Old freak of Xingxiu, I hope to see you again. He executed his lightness martial arts. He did not turn his head back and left quickly. Okay, so the fight is over. He managed to injure around 10 Xingxiu disciples. He achieved overwhelming victory. He avenged his 4 henchmen who were poisoned by the Xingxiu sect. In the end, he was even able to escape. He was really lucky. However, his meridians still sustained minor injury. After meeting up with Wang Yuyan, Deng Baichuan, and the rest, they lived at a small inn and recuperated their injuries. Okay, so now we're following the Murong Fu group. After a few days, Bao Butong and Feng Bo regained their strength. Mu Rongfu, Deng Baichuan, and Gong Yugan also recovered from their injuries. The six of them did not know the whereabouts of Ah Zhu. They missed her a lot. Thus, they discussed and decided to go to Luoyang to find information about her whereabouts. Previously, Babu Tong, Aju, and Xiao Feng had a brief meetup. After that, Xiao Feng mistakenly injured Aju, but none of them found out about the matter. They did not find the slightest bit of information at Luoyang. Mu Rongfu felt it was not worth his time to spend so much effort on a little servant girl. Thus, he headed west to find out about the recent development in the martial arts fraternity. He also thought about gathering more henchmen so as to expand his plans in reviving his dynasty. On this day, the six of them traveled hastily. They missed the place where they could lodge for the night, and they kept traveling till dark. However, they were still on the mountain path. The road was rugged, and the wild grass was getting longer. Fang Bo said, I am afraid we took the wrong path. Most likely we took a wrong turn. Deng Baichuan said, let us find a cave or abandoned temple and rest for the night. Okay. Wait, we know that Mu Rongfu was trying to revive his old dynasty, right? He was from an old kingdom that fell, and his mission in life is to revive that kingdom. Yeah, or I guess we should say the mission that his father gave him was to do that. Fang Bo quickly dashed forward to scout for a safe shelter. He surveyed the surroundings. The mountain path was precipitous, terrain rugged. Fang Bo could lie down anywhere and sleep soundly, but he had to find some place suitable for Wang Yuyan, and the task was really not easy. He ran for a few li and rounded a hillside. Suddenly, he saw a light at the right-hand side of a valley. Fang Bo was excited. He turned back and shouted, there is someone living here! Mu Rongfu and the rest followed his voice and rushed over. Gong Yugan said happily, it seems to be a hunting family. They definitely should have at least a place for Miss Wang to sleep soundly. The six of them followed the light and walked quickly. The light was very far away. After walking for a while, the light was still flickering. They couldn't see the house clearly. Fang Bo mumbled and cursed. Damn his grandmother! This light is a little odd. Suddenly, Deng Baichuan said in a low voice, wait, young master. Look, this is a green lamp. Mu Rongfu focused his eyes and stared straight ahead. The light was indeed emitting green rays. It was vastly different from common light, which was either dark red or pale yellow. The six of them hastened their footsteps and rushed towards the green light. The light became even more distinct. Babu Tong said loudly, demonic people are gathering here. For the five of them, based on their intelligence and martial arts, they were not afraid of any sects or schools, but they immediately thought, today we are together with Miss Wang. It's best not to stir up trouble. Babu Tong and Fang Bo did not fight for quite some time. Now that their internal energy was restored, their hands were itchy and they eagered to fight. However, they still managed to restrain themselves. Fang Bo said, we traveled for an entire day. We are a bit tired. This stinky place is not good. Let us retreat and go back. Precipitous definition. Precipitous means like dangerous. Think. So I think they were talking about the mountain. So it was dangerous. The mountain was, you could fall down the mountain. Where is it? Yeah, the mountain path is precipitous. I think that's what that means. Precipitous. Dangerously high or steep. That's about what I said, right? For the five of them, wait, blah 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 blah. Mu Rongfu smiled faintly. He thought, unexpectedly, fourth brother Feng changed his temper. It's really rare. He said, cousin, that place is filthy. Let us turn back. Wang Yuyan didn't understand the underlying reason, but since her cousin said it, she happily complied. The six of them turned around. They walked a few steps, but suddenly a faint voice transmitted from the ground. Since you know demonic people are gathering here, you people are a bunch of lousy demons and ghosts. Why don't you join in the fun? The voice was suddenly high-pitched and suddenly low-pitched. It seemed to break, yet continuous. It was extremely uncomfortable when they heard it, but they heard every single word clearly. I think we know who this is. Mu Rongfu snorted. The other party already overheard Bao Bu Tong when he said demonic people were gathering here. From the voice transmitted, the internal energy of the person was not shallow, but it was also not first-class martial arts. Mu Rongfu waved his left hand and said, no time to tangle with him, just ignore him. He retraced the route which they took to get here. I didn't say steep. Oh, dangerously high or steep? Is that the main thing? Not the dangerous part? Blah, 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 blah. Dangerously high or steep? I mean, it means dangerous, right? It pretty much means dangerous. Does the high or steep actually matter, you know? Does it actually matter? Alright, fine. That's half a song, okay? If you can get me on another half, that's a full song, and then I'll sing. How about that? The voice said, little bastard, you dare to spout nonsense. You think you can simply wag your tail and run away? If you really want to run away, you still have to kowtow 300 times before your ancestor, before leaving. Feng Bo could not restrain himself anymore. He halted and said in a low voice, young master, let me go teach that wild person a lesson. Mu Rongfu shook his head and said, they don't know who we are, just ignore them. Feng Bo said yes. The six of them walked another 10 steps. The voice said again, it doesn't matter if the male wants to run away, but this young chick has to stay and accompany your ancestor and relieve my boredom. Unexpectedly, the person dared to humiliate Wang Yuyan. Their countenance changed. They stopped moving and turned around. The voice said again, why? Obediently offer that chick to avoid your ancestor. As he said the word ancestor, Deng Baichuan gathered his energy into his dantian and shouted, ancestor! Both their voices intermixed and shook the valley. Everyone felt their eardrums humming, but they heard a miserable cry. It came from around the green light. The night was quiet. Deng Baichuan's voice still lingered and did not disappear, and intermixed with the miserable cry. Everyone felt absolutely horrified. This shout from Deng Baichuan used high-level energy to injure the other party. Wow, you can injure someone from that? From the person's miserable cry, the injury was not minor. Maybe he was about to die. The miserable cry stopped, but they heard a chi sound. A green fire rocket flew to the sky and exploded. Half the sky turned dark green. Feng Bo said, since we started it, we must carry it through. Let us wipe out the nest of demons and ghosts. Mu Rongfu nodded his head and said, originally we wanted to maintain peace by yielding to them, but since we started it, let us just finish it till the end. The six of them rushed towards the green light. Mu Rongfu was worried that Wang Yuyan might be at a disadvantage. He slowed down and stayed behind her. He heard Bao Bu Tong and Feng Bo shouting and cursing. Both of them started fighting with the other party. Immediately after, under the glimmer of the green light, 3 shadows flew up. Pai, pai, pai. 3 sounds, and the shadow smashed against the mountain wall. Apparently, they had been finished off by Bao Butong and Feng Buwu. Mu Rongfu rushed towards the green light. He saw Deng Baichuan and Gong Yugan standing beside a huge bronze cauldron, their expressions solemn. An elderly man was lying beside the cauldron, smoke rising from it. The smoke was fine like a line, but straight like an arrow. Wang Yuyan said, "It's Western Sichuan Jade Rock Cave, the sect of the Mulberry Soil Elder." Deng Baichuan nodded his head and said, "Miss, you are indeed extremely knowledgeable." Bao Butong turned around and said, "How do you know? This burning of fire to transmit information, it exists several thousand years ago. It might not be Western Sichuan Jade Rock Cave." He did not finish as Gong Yugan pointed at the base of the bronze cauldron, hinting him to look closer. Bao Butong bent his waist and looked. The legs of the cauldron was emblazoned with the word mulberry. The word was formed by the shape of a few snakes and centipedes. The bronze was brightly colored. It seemed to be an ancient artifact. Bao Butong knew that Wang Yuyan was correct, but he still wanted to debate. "Even if this bronze cauldron is from the Mulberry Soil Elder and his sect, how do you know they didn't borrow it or steal it? Moreover, there is a common saying, false cauldron, counterfeit, and fake. 9 out of 10 cauldrons are fake." Is there really a common saying that says that? It's pretty specific, no? Mu Rongfu and the rest thought, "This place is very far from Western Sichuan. Don't tell me this is the territory of the Mulberry Soil Elder and his sect." They knew that Western Sichuan Jade Rock Cave, Mulberry Soil Elder and his sect, are mostly Miao and Qiang ethnic people. Their conducts were different from martial artists of the Central Plains. They were experts at poison, and everyone was rather afraid of them. Luckily, they were detached from worldly affairs. As long as one did not intrude on the borders of Sichuan, they would not rashly offend people. Mu Rongfu, Deng Baichuan, and the rest were not afraid of the Mulberry Soil Elder. They just found that it was boring to feud with demonic and poisonous freaks. Moreover, it was very troublesome to tangle with them. Mu Rongfu muttered softly to himself, "This is a wrong place to be in. It's best to leave as soon as possible." The elderly man lying beside the cauldron was breathing faintly, but his pair of eyes were staring angrily at them. This man was the person who taunted them. Mu Rongfu nodded his head towards Bao Butong, the corner of his mouth signaling that at the elderly man. Bao Butong understood his intentions. He grabbed the bamboo pole with the green lamp. He flipped the pole. With a pooh sound, he thrust the pole and lamp into the chest of the old man. The green light died out immediately. Wang Yuyan cried out in alarm. Gong Yugan said, "The nobleman does not care about trivial matters. A great man has to be ruthless. This is called silencing a person to avoid future disaster." His right foot flew out and toppled the cauldron with a kick. Mu Rongfu held on to Wang Yuyan's hand. He dashed to the left. They ran around 10 zhang. Suddenly, there were 2 chi-chi sounds. A golden blade split the air. A knife and a sword came out from the bushes and chopped towards them. Mu Rongfu waved his sleeves. He borrowed and redirected the force. The knife held by the person on the left, chop, towards the head of the person on the right. The sword held by the person on the right pierced the heart of the person on the left. In a split second, Mu Rongfu finished off 2 people who made the sneak attack. His footsteps did not slow down the slightest bit. Gong Yugan praised, "Young master, excellent skill." Mu Rongfu smiled and continued traveling. He waved his right palm and hit an enemy head-on and sent him rolling down the hill. He struck out his left palm. The enemy at his left cried out loudly and spurted fresh blood. Mu Rongfu suddenly detected a fishy smell. Immediately after, a fierce wind assaulted him. Mu Rongfu quickly generated his palm wind and reflected 2 unknown hidden projectiles. He heard an "ah" cry His enemies had been hit by their own vicious, hidden projectiles. They were heavily surrounded in the darkness. They didn't know the number of enemies and simply killed a few people. When they killed the sixth person, Murongfu was secretly fearful. He thought, the first 3 people are most likely from Western Sichuan Mulberry Soil Elders' sect, but afterwards the other 3 people came from 3 different sects. We are making more and more enemies. This is really not good. He heard Deng Baichuan shout, Everyone rush towards the Listening Perfume Pavilion. The Listening Perfume Pavilion is a manor at Gusu Murong's Basin of Swallow. It was located at the west and was the residence of Ah Ju. Deng Baichuan asking them to rush towards the Listening Perfume Pavilion was the same as asking them to retreat west. He coded the message to avoid letting the enemy know about their movements. When Murongfu listened to his words, he immediately understood the meaning. But the surrounding was pitch black, and there was no light from the moon and stars. It was difficult to determine the direction. He focused his attention. He heard Deng Baichuan's heavy palm wind ringing 2 times behind him, to the right-hand side. Immediately he held on to Wang Yuyan's hand and retreated 3 steps and leaned against Deng Baichuan. He heard another 2 pa-pa sounds. Deng Baichuan's clashed palms 2 times with the enemy again. From the sound generated by the clashing of palms, the enemy was an expert. Immediately afterwards, Deng Baichuan exhaled and shouted, Hey! Murongfu knew Deng Baichuan was using the move Earth-Shattering Shock. The enemy would not be able to resist. Sure enough, the person cried out in surprise, the voice sharp, but the cry seemed to be sinking downwards underground. Immediately afterwards, stones rolled around and branches snapped. Murongfu was slightly alarmed. This person tripped and fell into a deep ravine. Luckily, elder brother Deng hit the person into the ravine, else if we stepped in empty air in this darkness, it would be disastrous. At this moment, a voice floated down from a high slope to the left. Which experts came to disturb the assembly of 10,000 immortals? You really don't respect the cave masters of 36 caves and island masters of 72 islands? No. What is this new group? Murongfu and the rest gasped softly. They know about the cave masters of 36 caves and island masters of 72 islands. Okay, I feel like we could kind of shorten that title a little bit. But all these cave masters and island masters were just some heretic groups that don't belong to any sect or school. Some of their martial arts were high, some were low, some were good, while some were evil. They kept to themselves and did whatever they pleased. They didn't communicate with each other, and thus they couldn't do anything great. Nobody thought they were important. Some of them were scattered around the East Sea, some at islands around the Yellow Sea, some at Kunlun and living in seclusion in deep mountains in Qilian. They lie low and did not have any accomplishments. Nobody paid any attention to them. Unexpectedly, they gathered at this place. Okay. What do they want? We don't know, but we're gonna take a break. 5 minutes, okay? I'll be right back. That's too many islands. 72? Yeah, that's way too many. Alright, I'll be right back. And we back. Okay. Alright, so I guess we meet a new group, which seems like a loose alliance of cave masters and island masters. So people who lived in caves and islands, okay? Apparently there are 36 caves and 72 islands. And looks like they're making some enemies. Murongfu said brightly, "There are 6 of us here. We are friends. We are traveling at night and unaware of people gathering here. Thus we accidentally offended you. We offer our apologies. In this darkness, it's easy to have misunderstandings. Let us just dismiss it with a laugh. Please, grant us passage." Yeah, we just killed a few of your men. Let's just dismiss it with a laugh. His words are neither haughty nor humble. He did not reveal his origins. As for the killings, he also offered his apologies. Suddenly, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, 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 laughter surrounded them in all directions. More and more people joined in the laughter. Initially, only 10 people laughed, but eventually more joined in, and there were about 500, 600 people laughing. Some were nearby, while some were a few li away. Mu Rongfu listened to their laugh. They had vast numbers. They also mentioned about the assembly of 10,000 immortals. He pondered, "We are really unlucky tonight. We accidentally gate-crashed their gathering. I have yet to reveal my name. It's best to walk away quickly so as to avoid irreparable damage. Moreover, we are heavily outnumbered. How can the 6 of us handle several hundreds of them?" Amidst the laughter, the person on the slope said, "You paint the picture in light shades. You dismiss the matter too easily. The 6 of you injured quite a few of our brothers. If we simply let you walk away, then what about the reputation of the 36 caves and 72 islands?" How big is a li? Well, let's see. How big is a li? Or how long? How long is a li? 546 yard. Can we trust this? Let's go with Wikipedia. Buried over usually 1/3 of an English mile and has standardized length of half a kilometer. Okay, so it's about half a kilometer, 500 meters. Wait, 0.8 of a 0.8 miles? Hold on. Oh, here we go. It's changed over time. Yeah, it's around 400 to 500 meters. So, yeah, there are a lot of them. Mu Rongfu calmed down and looked around. To his front and rear, left and right, the hillside, the mountain peak, the mountain cavity, the mountain ridge, there were shadows of people everywhere. In the darkness, he could not see their appearance clearly. Originally, he didn't know where they were, but they seemed to suddenly emerge from underground. At this moment, Deng Baichuan, Gong Yugan, Bao Butong, Feng Bo, the 4 of them gathered beside Mu Rongfu and Wang Yuyan and guarded them. But they were surrounded by several hundred people. They were nothing more than a small boat in the vast ocean. What's a li? It's just a unit of measurement. An old Chinese unit of measurement. Why is the screen yellow? Oh, wait, let me change. Is the screen yellow to you? Oh, is that better? I didn't know you guys can see that, but I guess you guys can see the yellow screen. Yeah, because I use a program that turns the screen more yellow the later the night goes. So, yeah, the darker the sky is, the more yellow the screen is. Mu Rongfu, Deng Baichuan, and the rest, they encountered countless great battles and fights, but after seeing such a situation, they could not help but be scared. They pondered, "These people are very weird. 8 or 10 of them are not a problem, but several hundreds of them gathering together is really not easy to deal with." You never would have noticed you had the same blue light filter. Wait, if you have the same blue light filter, then wouldn't it be like even darker for you? It must be like super, super yellow for you. You're double yellowed. Yep, I use Flux. Is that what you used to? Peepzilla? Murongfu gathered his energy into his dantian. He said brightly, oh, this is too bright, guys. All right, let me change it a little bit. Maybe make it a little bright. Maybe halogen. So Murongfu gathered his energy into his dantian. He said brightly, there is a common saying, the one who does not know is not guilty. Cave masters of 36 caves, island masters of 72 islands. I have heard of your great reputation. I definitely wouldn't dare to offend you deliberately. Western Sichuan Jade Rock Cave, Mulberry Soil Elder, Gansu Young Dragon Cave, Xuan Huangzhi, East Sea, Mysterious Dark Island, Island Master, Mr. Zhang Da Ren. I presume that you are all here. I am Murongfu, and I wish to make friends with you. It's not my intention to offend you. The surrounding crowd of people gasped in surprise. Obviously, they were shaken by the name Murongfu. The voice replied, are you the Murongfu who specialize in returning you with your own move? Murongfu said, I don't deserve it. Yes, it is my insignificant self. The person said, Gusu Murong family is not insignificant. Light the lamp. Everyone, let us meet him. When he finished speaking, a yellow lamp suddenly rose up in the southeast corner. Immediately after, red lamps rose up at the west and northwest corner. In a split second, light rose up in all directions. Some were lanterns, some were torches, some were Kongming lanterns, some were firewood. The light brought by various cave masters and island masters were different. Some were simple, some were intricate. Originally, nobody knew their hiding locations, but now light shone upon everyone's faces. It was truly a strange sight. There were male, female, handsome people, ugly people, monks, priests. Some wore long sleeves, some wore short sleeves. Some were old men with long beard. Some were women with hair rolled up. Their clothing came in all shapes and sizes, different from those from the Central Plains. A lot of them were carrying weapons, but the weapons were shaped oddly. It was difficult to identify them. Murongfu clasped his hands and greeted in 4 directions. He said brightly, Welcome, Gusu Murongfu greets you. Some of the crowd returned his greeting, some ignored him. A person to the west said, Murongfu, your Gusu Murong family likes to show off its prestige at the Central Plains, so be it. But you come to this assembly of 10,000 immortals and run amok without restraint. You really don't respect us at all? You claim to specialize in returning you with your own move. Then let me ask you, how are you going to return my move? Murongfu looked towards the voice. A big-head old man was sitting cross-legged on a rock to the west. His head was bald and shiny, not a single strand of hair at all. His face filled with blood. When gazing from afar, he looked just like a big red ball. Murongfu cupped his fists and said, Welcome. May I ask your great name? The person held onto his belly and laughed. Ha 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 ha. This old man is testing you. I want to see if Murong family is genuine talent or just someone with a false reputation. I asked you a question just now. How are you going to return my move? As long as you answer it correctly, I don't care how others react. But this old man will never trouble you again. Wherever you like to go, you can simply go. Murongfu considered the current situation. He knew he could not resolve the matter by talking out of it. He must display a few of his moves. He said, Since this is the case, I will trade a few moves. Senior, please, Make your move. The person rolled on the floor and laughed. He said, "Ha ha ha ha! I am the one testing you. I am not asking you to test me. If you cannot answer, then quickly take back your returning you with your own move reputation." Mu Rongfu knit his brows. He pondered. You just sit there motionless. I don't know your sect. I don't know your name. How would I know your most proficient move? How can I return it when I don't know your move? As he was muttering and thinking, the big-head old man sneered. My friends from 36 caves and 72 islands are scattered all over the world. They don't interfere with the goings-on in the central plains. There is a fierce tiger hidden in the mountain, but the little monkey dares claims to be king. You are a boy, still wet behind the ears. Unexpectedly, you go so far as to be some northern Qiaofeng, southern Murong. Laughable, shameless. Let me tell you, it's not difficult for you to escape today. You just have to kowtow 10 times to every single cave master and island master from the 36 caves and 72 islands. A total of 1,080 kowtows, and we will let you baby dolls walk away. Bao Butong suppressed his anger for a long time, but he could no longer hold it in. He shouted loudly, You invite my young master to return you with your own move, then ask him to kowtow. Your consummate skill, my young master can't learn it. Laughable, shameless. Unexpectedly, he copied the big-head old man's speech pattern and tone perfectly. The big-head old man coughed and spit a mouthful of phlegm. It flew towards Bao Butong's face. Bao Butong slanted his body to avoid. The phlegm flew past his left ear. Suddenly, it turned around in midair and shot towards Bao Butong's forehead. Whoa. How did that work? He could control his phlegm. The force in his phlegm was not light. Bao Butong hastily sidesteps. He realized that the phlegm was targeting his Yangbai acupoint between his eyebrow. Mu Rongfu was shocked. It's not strange that this old man's phlegm contained internal energy and targeted acupoints. The strange thing is that after firing the phlegm, unexpectedly it can turn around in midair. The big-headed old man chuckled. Mu Rongfu, this old man doesn't want you to return me with my own move. If you can tell me the origin of this phlegm, then this old man will be convinced of your ability. Mu Rongfu pondered quickly. Ideas flew at lightning speed, but he simply could not recall it. Suddenly he heard Wang Yuyan's gentle and soft voice. Island Master Duan Mu, you completely mastered this going and coming 5 rights divine skill. It's really not easy. But you must have killed quite a few living things in the process. My young master knows that it's not easy to train, thus he is unwilling to reveal the origin, in order to avoid incurring the jealousy of your friends. Don't tell me my young master will use this skill to deal with you. Mu Rongfu was shocked, yet happy. He never heard of this 5 rice divine skill before. Unexpectedly, his cousin was aware of it, but he didn't know if it was correct or wrong. Originally, the old man had a blood-red face, but in an instant his face lost all its color. However, it turned back red again immediately. He laughed and said, Ha ha ha! Baby doll talking rubbish. How can you understand it? The 5 rice divine skill harms others for one's personal benefit. It is vicious and dangerous. Why would I even train in it? But unexpectedly, you know of this old man's name. It's really not easy. Wang Yuyan heard his reply. She knew she guessed correctly. He merely refused to admit it. She said, Hainan Island 5-Finger Mountain Scarlet Flame Cave Cave Master Duan Mu. In the martial arts fraternity, who doesn't know about you? Cave Master Duan Mu, if that skill is not the 5 rice divine skill, then it must be some other wonderful skill derived from the ground fire skill. The ground fire skill was the elementary skill of the Scarlet Flame Cave. The sect leader of the Scarlet Flame Cave has always been surnamed Duan Mu. This big-head old man was called Duan Mu Yuan. When he heard Wang Yuyan reveal his personal history, and she glossed over the 5 rice divine skill, he had favorable impression of her. Moreover, his scarlet flame cave was just some small obscure sect, but unexpectedly she claimed, "Who doesn't know about you?" He was even happier. He smiled and said, "Correct, correct. This is just some insignificant skill derived from the ground fire skill. This old man said in advance, since the young lady identified my origin, then I will not trouble you anymore." Suddenly, someone shouted from afar, "Gusu Murong, your reputation is really well deserved." Murongfu raised his hands and said, "A novice is making a fool of himself before experts. I don't deserve your praise." At this moment, a ray of golden light and silver light shot out from the ground on the left-hand side. The sound was sharp and pure as it split the air. Murongfu dared not be negligent. He generated a blast of wind with his sleeves and clashed with it. There was a loud crashing sound. The ray of golden light and silver light rolled back and retreated. Murongfu finally saw it clearly. It was 2 long belts. One of them was gold in color, the other silver. 2 old men were standing at the end of the belt. The one wielding the golden belt was wearing a silver robe. The one wielding the silver belt was wearing a golden robe. The gold and silver sparkled brilliantly. It was extremely gorgeous. Ordinary people definitely wouldn't wear these gold and silver robes. It must be some stage actor. The old man wearing the silver robe said, "Admirable, admirable. Receive another move from us brothers." Golden light flickered. The golden belt arrived from the left. However, the silver belt flew towards the sky and then dropped down, directly attacking the top of Murongfu's head. Murongfu said, "Both seniors." He only managed to say these words. Suddenly, there was the sound of rushing wind. 3 sabers swept up from the ground. 3 men used their ground fighting skill, and they attacked Murongfu's lower body. Murongfu's top, front, left. It was being attacked in all 3 directions simultaneously. He pondered. My opponents call themselves the Cave Masters of 36 caves, Island Masters of 72 islands. They have many men. If they carry on tangling with me, and I don't show them my power, I wonder when this will end. He saw 3 sabers sweeping towards him. Immediately, he kicked 3 times. Every kick landed on his opponent's wrist. White light flickered, and the 3 sabers flew up into the air. Murongfu slanted his body to the side. His right hand brushed horizontally, and he executed his star-shifting movement skill and prodded the golden belt. There was a pa sound. The golden belt and silver belt coiled together. The 3 men who displayed their ground-fighting saber skills lost their saber. They did not retreat. They shouted, "Ha, ha!" They opened their arms and hugged Murongfu's leg. Murongfu's foot flew up. He moved like the wind and kicked the 3 men's chest acupoint in quick succession. Suddenly, a black-robed man with long arms and long legs jumped forward. He spread out his fan-like hands and smacked towards Murongfu. Murongfu saw the move was steady and ruthless. Obviously, this man's martial arts was much stronger than the others. He pondered, "This man must be the chief of the group. I must subdue him first, to make it easier to negotiate." Murongfu leapt. He vaulted over the 3 men who were reclining on the ground. He struck out his right palm, directly attacking the black-robed man. The black-robed man sneered. He raised a blade horizontally and blocked in front of his chest. A green light sparkled in front of him. It was an exceptionally sharp, serrated saber. The edge of the blade was facing outward. If Murongfu really landed his palm, he would be severing his own wrist. Murongfu did not withdraw his palm move. When his palm was 2 inches away from the blade, suddenly he changed his slapping move into a sweeping one. His palm followed along the edge of the blade and swiped downwards. He scraped the black-robed man's fingers. The edge of his palm was filled with internal energy. Its sharpness was no less than the serrated saber. The force in it sufficient to slice off fingers or break an arm. The black-robed man was caught off guard. He cried out in surprise and hastily released the saber. He flipped his palm and met it head-on. There was a "pa" sound. The two men clashed palms. The black-robed man cried out in surprise again. His body swayed, and he leapt one jang backwards. Murongfu turned his palm and grabbed the serrated blade. A burst of fishy smell assaulted his nose. He nearly vomited. He knew that the blade was smeared with deadly poison. It was extremely sinister and demonic. Although he seized his opponent's weapon in a single move, but he saw 7 to 8 people raising their weapons. They blocked in front of the black-robed man and protected him. When he clashed palms with the black-robed man, although the man's internal energy was inferior to his, but it was also quite strange. As for seizing the weapon of the man, was merely caught off guard. If they really fought for real, he would not be able to secure a victory in just a few moves. Under such circumstances, he could only show off his skills to display his might and then request to walk away freely. He shouted. He brandished the serrated saber and rushed towards the crowd of people. Everyone shouted, "Everyone, be careful! This person is wielding the verdant, wave, fragrant dew saber. Don't let him cut you. Hey, yo! Wu Lao Daz's verdant, wave, fragrant dew saber got taken away by this young chap. This is terrible." Murongfu waved the saber and moved forward. The monks, priests, ugly men, pretty women, all of them scattered and ran, their expressions extremely fearful. Murongfu presumed this serrated saber must have some great history, but it was simply too smelly. It was known as fragrant dew saber, which was ridiculous. He pondered. If I wield this poison saber, it's not difficult to kill 10 or 8 cave masters or island masters, but I have no animosity or hatred with them. Why the need to take their lives? Although he brandished and waved the saber around, he never injured anyone. He pushed down one person and kicked another. 2. Initially, everyone was extremely frightened, but they saw the power of the saber was not formidable. They calmed down, and in a split second, longsword and short halberd, soft whip, and hard tablet, everyone attacked from all 4 sides. Around 10 people surrounded Murongfu at the boundary. Outside the boundary, 300 to 400 people encircled, layer upon layer. After fighting for a short period of time, Murongfu pondered, "When will it ever end? If I carry on fighting like this, it seems I must start killing people." His saber move was very tight. There were 2 pung-pung sounds. He used the saber's shaft to knock 2 persons unconscious. Suddenly, Deng Baichuan shouted, "Shameless pervert! Don't you dare alarm the lady!" Murongfu shot a glance. He saw 2 people leaping up and attacking Wang Yuyan, who was on top of a pine tree. Deng Baichuan flew forward to rescue. He waved his palm to intercept them. Murongfu was somewhat relaxed, but another 3 people leapt at the pine tree, and once he understood their intentions. They cannot beat me, thus they want to capture my cousin and coerce me. It's really shameless to the extreme. But he was surrounded by an entire group of people. He could not get away. He saw 2 women grabbing Wang Yuyan's arm and jumping down from the tree. A long-haired tuo with a golden ring on his head stuck out his Buddhist monk's knife and placed it horizontally across Wang Yuyan's neck. He shouted, "Murong chap, if you don't surrender, I will chop your good friend." Oh, they caught her. Murongfu was stunned. He pondered. These people are incomparably vicious. They will really injure my cousin? What should I do? My Murong family moved around unhindered in the martial arts fraternity. How can we surrender? If we surrender, then how can we conduct ourselves with dignity in the future? He hesitated, but his hands did not slow down the slightest bit. He smacked out his left palm twice. 2 people got hit and flew out a jung. The tuo shouted again, "You really won't surrender. I will slice off this precious and pretty head off." His Buddhist monk's knife swayed. The cutting edge of the knife flickered with green light. Yay! All right, we're done with this chapter. What do you guys think? How was it? A lot of fighting. Hmm. Wait, let me finish this dorayaki. Hmm. You want to know about the green light? All right. So we're kind of following Murong Fu now for a little bit, I think. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen. It doesn't seem like he's going to befriend this group of people. Yeah, it seems like they're going to be enemies. Yeah, I was kind of excited. I thought we were going to follow Duan Yu for a little bit, but that was just for a little segment, and then we switched to Murong Fu. All right. Well, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. I wonder what's going to happen next. Hopefully Wang Yuyan doesn't die. All right. Green Lantern sucked. All right, Green Lantern was not that good. True. I don't think it was Ryan Reynolds' fault, right? It was just the movie was bad. All right, cheers. All right, I think that's it. I drink blood sake. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Happy New Year. Okay. Happy Year of the Cat or the Rabbit. Thanks for joining. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Okay, next week. All right. Song? No song. You didn't catch me. That was like half a song. Doesn't count. All right. Happy New Year. See ya. See you next week. Bye.